Welcome to the first ever episode of the Flow Performance Podcast. My name is Ricky Dan, founder of Flow Nutrition and your host. Thank you very much for tuning in. This episode will be a short little introduction to explain why I'm building this podcast and what you can expect with the upcoming guest episodes. My goal with this podcast is really simple. It's to help you experience more flow state in your life. I started this podcast for the same reason I started Flow Nutrition, to integrate an evidence-based approach for health, performance, and recovery within the action and adventure sport communities. This podcast will consist of two key segments aimed to educate and inspire positive change. Firstly, we will have the What's the Go segment, with its primary focus being on education. During my academic and professional career, I've had the privilege of working with some of the world's best researchers and practitioners, and it's clear that there is a massive problem. Their voices and their knowledge are often lost in the noise from self-proclaimed health gurus, social media influencers, and the latest trends making its rounds in the media. This podcast is my way of tackling this issue. This is my opportunity to leverage the extraordinary network of qualified and experienced researchers, practitioners, and coaches currently working in the action and adventure sport communities. This podcast won't be about me. It will be about showcasing the amazing individuals currently out there who have dedicated their lives to supporting our health, performance, and recovery. It's about sharing their expert knowledge and insights. I've found there is so much knowledge often tied up in these practitioners that isn't available or accessible for everyday people to capitalize on. Even the information that is out there, it isn't communicated effectively for us. It's often buried in research papers, academic journals, and conference presentations. We have a wealth of evidence-based knowledge out there. However, most professionals have found it too hard to articulate complex things in a concise way with easy to understand language. The aim of the What's the Go segment is to fix this. I'll be interviewing world-leading nutritional experts, doctors, psychologists, researchers, academics, strength and conditioning coaches, and business leaders, and I'll be asking the questions that you want answered. Each What's the Go segment will focus on one particular topic and cover everything that you need to know in less than 15 minutes. They will be short, concise, to the point, and easy to understand without any beating around the bush. So if you've ever thought, what's the go with carbohydrates for surfing? Or what's the go with strength training for snowboarding? Or what's the go with recovery protocols for trail running? These are the episodes for you. As an exercise professional and action sport researcher myself, who is publishing research articles in surfing, snowboarding, and skating, I've leveraged my unique network of professionals working within the realm of action, adventure, and flow. Guests will exclusively be the leaders in each field, including qualified health practitioners working with high-performing athletes and the pioneers of action and adventure sport research who are dedicating their lives to expanding our knowledge in these sports. Secondly, we will have long-format guest episodes with the aim to inspire. These episodes will tell the stories of world-class athletes, coaches, practitioners, and business leaders within the action and adventure sport communities. These more traditional episodes will seek to explore the guests' personal relationship with flow state, their journey to getting where they are today, and the lessons they've learned in the pursuit of success and flow state. As your host, my personal background is mostly as a researcher and academic. I completed a bachelor degree in exercise and sport science, an honors degree in recovery protocols, a master's degree in muscle physiology, and am now completing a PhD in skill acquisition for competitive surfing. I'm also an academic teacher at a few universities in subjects like exercise physiology, functional anatomy, strength and conditioning, skill acquisition, and sports coaching. I've also worked in elite sport as an exercise scientist and strength coach in a wide range of sports, from Cricket Australia to the Brisbane Broncos to even a high-performance ski and snowboard academy in Finland. Most importantly though, I am a flow state junkie. I'm a surfer, snowboarder, ultra runner, and triathlete. I'm in constant search for flow, and I've found particularly the constant search for my potential has allowed me to experience more flow state than I've ever imagined. Although my deepest levels of flow state come from surfing and snowboarding, I've recently found similar levels training for and completing ultramarathons and Ironman triathlons. My experience with these more traditional and established sports has also driven me to integrate sports nutrition principles that are commonly executed in running and cycling into action and adventure sports. I've found nutrition plays such an important role in our ability to perform and be in flow. But I also recognize that training, recovery, and mindset are all key pillars, which is why I've called this the Flow Performance Podcast. So sit back, relax, or maybe even grab a pen to take some notes and get ready to be educated and inspired by all things flow state. Enjoy. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Flow Performance Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the chat and found loads of value that you can use to fuel more flow state in your life. If you did enjoy the content and want to support the podcast, don't forget to give it a 5-star rating, leave a review, or even better, share it to a mate, post it up on your Instagram story and tag Flow Performance Podcast. We really do appreciate any support in getting this content out into the world. So thanks again for tuning in, and we will catch you again next week.